Hello and welcome to Morehead Today. Today's date is October 12th, 2010. I'm your host, Gary Cornett. Thank you for joining us. Morehead Today is MSU-TV's newest program, and our purpose is to inform the citizens of Morehead about current events and projects occurring in the area, as well as to highlight local artists and performers. You can contact Morehead Today by emailing moreheadtoday@gmail.com, and you can view previous episodes online at youtube.com/moreheadtoday. On today's show, Shayla Menville speaks with Ezra Dyke and Ginger Watkins from Habitat for Humanity about the Passive House project that has begun in Humanity Hills, north of Morehead. Later on the show, we'll have Mary McGlone and Mike Duffy, local traditional musicians, in the studio. We'll also bring you some coming events in our community calendar. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to Morehead Today. Habitat for Humanity strives to eliminate substandard housing. Energy Star houses have been the standard for Habitat for a while now, but the group is attempting to set the bar a little higher by constructing passive homes. In a time of rising energy costs, when most people are striving to eliminate carbon emissions and create a greener world, the idea of a passive home is a very pertinent one. This past Sunday, as part of 350.org's Global Workday for the Environment, Morehead hosted a second Sunday Family Fun Day with many activities for the residents of Morehead to enjoy. The afternoon ended with a ceremonial groundbreaking for Kentucky's first passive home in Humanity Hills, north of Morehead. Members of Morehead City Council, Habitat for Humanity, Sustainable Morehead, and Mayor David Perkins were in attendance. Shayla Menville has the story.
On Sunday, October 10th, 2010, in Humanity Hills off of Hyatt Lane, a small crowd gathered in the midst of 3 half-finished Habitat for Humanity houses. As the sun began to set, discussion began about the planned passive house that will be constructed on the site. Kentucky Sustainable Building Specialist for Habitat for Humanity, Ginger Watkins, explained the passive house concept.
A passive house, well, this actually started back in the 80s in the U.S. with people who were exploring super insulation and passive solar. And I guess back in the 70s, passive solar was a big thing, and it mostly focused on having a lot of south-facing windows. And then there were also people who were researching super insulation. So this kind of started in the 80s, and then after the oil crisis passed in the U.S., I guess some interest was lost in energy efficiency, but people in Europe became interested in what we were doing here. And so the idea transplanted to Europe. And in the early 90s, the Passive House Institute was started. Okay, so back to what the passive house is. The basic concept is super insulation of the envelope of the home, and it's very well air sealed as well, so there's not a lot of infiltration, and very good windows. And so once you make this good envelope, your mechanical system can be reduced to almost nothing. So you could actually heat a passive house with a hairdryer. So the conventional wisdom used to be, you know, the more insulation you put in, you have diminishing returns. You know, like, well, it's not worth it after you get to some point. But they found that, well, if you push it far enough, then you can get rid of the mechanical system, or almost. And so you save a lot of upfront cost there, which you can put into the envelope.
Watkins explained that this concept has already taken home outside the United States.
I think there are about 13 in the U.S., though in Europe I think there are about 15,000. In Austria it's like a significant part of the market now. And now they're doing passive schools and commercial buildings as well. And really, the hope is that this will become code in 10 years. That's the goal of the Passive House Institute US. Okay. Because buildings have such a huge contribution to climate change. They're like 50% of energy use. And so these homes use about 90% less heating and cooling than the typical home. So it's a major reduction, and we can do it cost effectively. So we're trying to figure out how to do it here.
Morehead Today also spoke with Ezra Dyke, the Morehead Habitat for Humanity director.
Well, when I first got this job, one of the main things I wanted to do was to focus on green housing, energy efficiency, and environmental friendliness. And a passive house was the perfect way to do that. When I first came on here, the first thing I did was we shot for Energy Star, and the mindset from the get-go was keep going, keep pushing beyond that. And recently the Habitat State Support Office in Louisville hired a green building specialist made possible through a Home Depot Foundation grant. And that's Ginger Watkins, and through her and her expertise, we were able to go straight for the gold, which is a passive house. Where an Energy Star home is 15% more efficient than building code, a passive house is 90% more efficient. It is one step away from a net zero house, meaning a house that doesn't emit any carbon dioxide because it's generating all the energy it uses. A passive house is basically a net zero house without the solar panels.
Dyke explained how Habitat comes up with the materials needed to construct such a house.
With all our recent Habitat homes, we have a national partner in Dow, and they do installations and foams for air sealing, and we're a partner with Kohler, and so we get a lot of plumbing fixtures for free, all our sinks, faucets, and shower fixtures. And then we're also partners with Johns Mansville, which is actually a state partner. They have a plant in northern Kentucky, and we get insulation for free for them. It's all blown fiberglass, so we can blow that into our walls, blow that into our ceiling. It costs us nothing, and the homeowners pay nothing for it as a result, making the homes more affordable. And then finally, a number of years ago, there's a trade disagreement between Canada and the United States, and the result was that whenever we bought softwood lumber, we would get reimbursed for that. Canada is great.
Ezra told Morehead today about the volunteers who would staff this project.
Because this is a house that focuses on being environmentally friendly, Sustainable Morehead, which is a nonprofit in town, was a perfect fit because their goal is to make people more aware of their role towards the environment and their need to take care of it. And these homes go towards the same end, so it's just create a little bit of synergy. And they're going to work with us, provide the volunteer hours to get the home built. And volunteer labor is the cornerstone of Habitat. The theology of the hammer, put your beliefs into work, and so they're putting their beliefs of an environmental mindedness and environmental friendliness and just love of your neighbor too into work.
Before the dirt was turned, Mayor David Perkins said a few words about the importance of this project.
These folks are just taking newer technologies, the new information that's available, and trying to design a package that will provide a good housing product that's affordable from an energy point of view. So I think it's just a really super thing. If you don't try it, you don't know how it's going to work.
For Morehead Today, I'm Shayla Minville reporting.
For more information about passive homes, you can visit the Passive Home Institute at www.passivehouse.us. For more information on Sustainable Morehead, visit www.sustainablemorehead.org. And for Habitat Humanity information, go to www.moreheadhabitat.org. Morehead Today will be right back. Welcome back to Morehead Today. My guest in the studio today is local musician Mike Duffy. Thanks for coming in, Mike.
Well, pleasant to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what kind of music you play.
You know, I guess I get started as a hobby, and well, I'm still a hobby person, but it seems as though if you play live and so on, you get asked to do that at different places. And so I originally started out, I really liked bluegrass, you know, and I got into that genre. But somewhere in the back, I always kind of like the folk also. I've come to Morehead some and see some of the shows here. Songwriters really, really are interesting to me now too. So, boy, what type do I play? Anything I like, that's what I play.
What kind of instrument do you play?
Let's see, I play guitar, dulcimer. I have a lady with me today who also plays the dulcimer. Typically, we do that, the dulcimer and guitar part. She didn't bring it today for some reason. I do some banjo and that kind of thing, and I'll try anything, I guess. I've tried mandolin, and it's coming along.
All right. How many years have you been playing?
Oh, gosh, maybe about 20 years or so, something like that.
Right.
Once I found that, you know, you get a good instrument that can really be played, you know, then progress starts. As one of those folks, I see a lot of folks, you know, have a poor instrument, they won't stay in tune, that kind of thing. It's very frustrating, but you know, it will work out if you stay with it, folks.
Where are the citizens of Round County most likely to catch you performing?
Oh, okay. Some of the places, I've been with the Bridge Festival over in Fleming County, the Covered Bridge Festival, and that generally entails a day of out playing on one of those wonderful bridges. The library in Fleming County also has had trying to drum up this idea of making your own music and so on, and they've had some talent shows and so on at the local public library, and I've participated in those. Gosh, I don't know, you know, just I just wait and get a call, you know, and can you do this? Since I've been in the schools before, done some educational programs with maybe the history of music and that kind of thing. Kind of looking at now, maybe this is, well, I'm retired now and I enjoy this, maybe start with some nursing home work also. You know? Right.
So who in the genres of folk and bluegrass music are your biggest influences?
Oh, you know, I guess in the bluegrass end, I guess, man, I was, it was John Hartford is one of those fellas I always really liked. And of course, he's a songwriter and comedian, a little bit of everything. The bluegrass group, Seldom Seen, I always liked those. One of the things that I found is I kind of was gravitating away from the old time, older traditional bluegrass, and I really like now some of the things that the young people do because they put this younger twist to it, and I really enjoy that, taking an old art form. Well, you know, bluegrass was kind of invented about the time I was born, so you know, but the young people I see now playing are doing wonderful things with it, and I think making it grow, and it's going to be around for a while because of them. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Do you write any of your own music or just covers?
I do write some, but I haven't performed any of those out. That's kind of maybe a very private thing.
Keep that in the closet until you feel it right.
Yeah, if I get a really good one, I may bring that out sometime.
All righty. Well, what kind of songs are you going to be playing for us here today?
I think today what we've decided to do are some of those things that just kind of catch the ear. They've caught my ear. They've caught Mary, the lady I'll be playing with. Folk, I think, is one of those things that's kind of been undercover. Folk music has been with us for since the late '50s, commercial folk, but it's been somewhat underground. So I think what Tom Paxton tune, I'd like to do one of those today.
All right.
And then there's some commercial music that catches my ear also, and we may have one of those by Chad and Jeremy. I'll let you guess on that one. We may do that one too.
All righty, sounds good. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have Mike Duffy and Mary McGlone. Everybody stay tuned to Morehead Today.